Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to a continuation of our Suzerain DESPOT playthrough, where things are looking like they're on the up and up. I'm really excited to see how things go horribly wrong with today's session, because that's how these games are sometimes. They build you up only to break you down, and that's the thrill of it. That's the roller coaster ride of emotions and successes and failures. That's something like Suzerain brings to us every Friday. I hope you all have had a wonderful week behind you. I hope you have an exciting weekend ahead of you, and I hope you're looking forward to this Friday show today. Today's actually a double feature. We're going to have a live stream later on tonight as well. That'll be a Planet Zoo live stream, actually, for those of you that want to hang out later on in the day, but more about that during the actual Planet Zoo live stream. First things first, right off the bat, we have a brand new member. Dragonity, thank you very, very much for joining in as a member right off the bat here today. I appreciate it greatly. Folks, I love to see all those banners flying right away. A warm welcome to our newest member again, and as always, it really helps support the channel, really helps just keep everything, as I like to say, alive and running smoothly, keeps it all sustainable. So thank you so very, very much for that support. And again, beautiful to see all the banners and the E's go up in celebration. Awesome. Thank you. That's it's a high note to start the stream on. And of course, a warm welcome to everybody that's hanging out as well. We've got with us Natalie P, Classified, Kate Percy, Ted Knight, Jazzy B, Sam Hampton. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? We got Frog with us. We have with us as well Averon, God of Fire. I'm going to jail. Wait, hang on. Wait. How's it going? Jazzy B, Vote Mongols. I see. I was seeing what that Vote Mongols things was about. You're talking about humankind, I assume. Sarab Sarkar, shiny new Air Force, love the smell of napalm in the morning, ain't that the truth? Yeah, I mean, I guess we already have our new upgraded Air Force, or it might take a little bit of time. But we'll see what plays out. Only way to find out is by hitting that resume. But as I do so, yes, again, folks, a warm welcome to all of y'all. I do hope you've had a perfect timing there with that subscription. I hope y'all have had a wonderful week, and I hope you have some exciting weekend plans and all as well. But as we dive into the Wealth of Nations, I want to say thanks to Zach Mutlow for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the show, whatever it is you're watching. If you happen to be watching this right now, then don't hesitate to join the Discord either. Again, fantastic place to hang out with some fantastic folks. And if you enjoy Suzerain, folks, if you like these live streams as well, if you'd like them to continue, one, the other, both, don't hesitate to hit that like button. It does make a big difference. Just lets me know that people are interested in certain ththings on the channel, and I should keep pursuing it, or I should shift gears and things like that. Y'all know what I mean. Puppies and crumpets for all. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna be. I'd love to be the aggressor in this war against Rumburg. That would make me very happy. But I don't know if that's actually an option. I think they have to pull the trigger, and then you have to respond. But I don't know, and no spoilers necessary or anything. I'm curious to find out how things play out. But I definitely feel like we would be rather aggressive, since we are not just a despot, but we have a... Because truth be told, you don't want to have war as a despot. We talked about this last session when we spoke to our military, ministers, I guess, just generally speaking, about the potential for war up north. We don't really want war with anybody else, because war brings instability, and instability, hurts the economy, which makes less people want to bribe you, which makes everything just worse. The ideal situation for a despot is to live in peace at the top of, whatever garbage is beneath them, but at the top of it. And it's easiest to do that at times of peace and stability and prosperity, right? So hopefully we can avoid war, I guess, but deep down inside, I do kind of wish we could serve Rumburg with some morning breakfast in the form of napalm. I don't disagree with that either. We do have our train done. Yes, that happened last session. So these tracks have been laid finally. There was some discussion last session as well about what the next project will be, and we talked a little bit about that last time, and I was mulling over it a bit as well. So our options will be, I believe it's an airport at Benfey, a port upgrade somewhere up over here. I forget where. memory doesn't serve me right now, but an upgrade to a port somewhere up over here. Then there's the agricultural zone down over here, and another element I'm forgetting as well. But we'll have those pieces of information served to us again, I'm sure. But some of those things help with infrastructure even further, and some of those things help with production. And as I was saying, I kind of mulled over these, and I think not set in stone yet. But I'm throwing this out there early so, y'all can mull over it as well, and we can figure it out when the time actually comes to make the decision. But I feel like improving the production in the core of our nation is probably in our best interests. And when I say our, I mean Anton Rain's best interests. Because if these business conglomerates, if these businessmen and women are able to maximize their production and maximize their export and, just take advantage of whatever gifts, so to speak, we give them, they'll make more money, they'll be happier. That money, if we play our cards right, should transfer upwards to us. And I'm not talking about taxes. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. Oh my god, Natalie P. Ooh, an airport where we can take the Suzerain. Oh my god. That's wow. That's priceless. Jesus. But yeah, so with regards to some of the work we did last time, though, our budget is in the green, which is, like, I don't know, has it ever happened before? Have we ever recovered our budget so far that it went from negatives to positives? I don't think it happened in our previous playthrough. This might be a first, ladies and gentlemen, so that's exciting. We're, of course, going to look to spend that on something. You got to spend money to make more money, right? So to keep that cycle going. The economy, though, did take slight hit, if I recall correctly. We had 2 pips, now we're down to 1. I really hope that with the tracks established, it'll take maybe a couple of events, a couple of days, months, however the game scales time, and then we'll see a bit of a recovery for our economy. I'm really hoping so, because otherwise I am a little concerned, because I thought we got some things right over here, but maybe not. The economy is in a far better shape in this run. We avoided the crash this time and did our infrastructure project without delays. Yes, I feel like we've been doing better this time around, partly because we rewarded this major project to Underhall Construction, and they happened to work out. There were no issues. All right, I believe that's everything there is to recap. We spoke again briefly just earlier about how we upgraded our our Air Force. Yes, all of our combat Suzerains are being upgraded because we had that extra money we invested in the military, and we had some options with regards to what we might want to invest in, and we felt as though that air superiority is the name of the game. It would give us an advantage, no matter where we have to fight, it would give us an advantage, and so that's the way we went, and we'll see how that pays off, hopefully. Well, let's see what's going on around the nation. We'll check out the news, and we'll dive into whatever's going on at Hull Source. So first of all, at Suzerain, what do we have here? Polio cases discovered in rural Suzerain. Now, I'm very curious to see how we tackle this as a nation now that has maintained its budget for healthcare and privatized some of it. I'm curious how this plays out here. Averon says the economy never ends well in this game. I've made peace with that. Yeah, I feel like I should probably do that as well. Just accept the fact that it won't be great. Noobnoth, how's it going, buddy? Glad you could drop by today. How you feeling? Doing all right, dude? Getting ready for the weekend? I guess it's already around the early afternoon or early evening for you over there, right? I do hope our economy goes okay. I'm hopping in my Air Force Rains. Oh my god. There's something about the name Rain that just hits a spot, isn't there? Rain. It's a good name. It's a good name. Reports from our border cities indicate that the polio outbreak in Welland has been moving towards Sordland. Specifically, there has been a sharp increase in cases in rural Suzerain and nearby villages. Health professionals have been dispatched to curb the infections by quarantining the patients. There are currently 23 active cases in Sordland. Well, I guess it's a good thing we've sort of hardened our border over here, right? By hook or by crook, we're going to kill this virus, whatever other viri might be coming across that border. Oh my. This goddamn playthrough, man. Doing better so far. It's 3 p.m. there. Oh, okay. I was adding a few too many hours. I thought it was like later in the day over there, 3 p.m. It's afternoon. Doing better. I'm glad to hear that, buddy. Polio indeed. Yeah, I really hope we're not gonna... Oh god, I hope we don't suffer a wild outbreak or anything like that. Pro-Blutish protest. Oh, come on. Governor of Bergia, Felix Abron, reports that a large number of students gathered in protest in downtown Dare, disrupting traffic and acting violently. The police immediately reacted, and the situation was brought under control. You know, it's working out. Spending all that extra money in the, on the police and the military, it's working out. Emergency decrees that limit everyone's rights, maybe not as much, but hey, who cares? PM Van Hoorten warns about Volkslandian presence. God, this guy. Let's not forget, PM Van Hoorten, I say PM as if it's a part of his name, Prime Minister Hoorten here dragged us all the way up to his nation's capital only to leave us hanging when we went up there for trade talks. Not only did he go through the whole kerfuffle of like shaking hands and this, that, and the other thing, it's all a photo op for him. As soon as the time came to actually talk about trade, he's just like, nah, we're not going to. Just as a reminder. So when it comes to this situation between them and Volksland, just to stick it to them, even though we don't like Volksland, but just to stick it to them, we might side with Volksland. I'll see what comes and how we're feeling when the time comes. But honestly, screw these guys. Hope they'll die in a pit. Prime Minister Van Hoorten warned us about the increasing naval presence of Volksland in the Markian Sea. He showed his wishes to have a stronger naval cooperation with Sordland in the future. Yeah, that ship has sailed, buddy. That ship has sailed. It is well beyond the horizon, honestly. I was legitimately annoyed at being dragged up there for nothing. Oh my god, I will have my vengeance. I will have my vengeance. Okay, Percy, you're pro-Bludish. Yeah, I've got a special place on a certain island for people who are pro-Bludish, I suppose. Sam Hampton, nice of them to gather in one place for our secret police to take some names and make a few hundred arrests. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Man, I've recently been talking a lot about this show that I was watching a while ago, and it's got 3 seasons. The 4th season is, I think, wrapping production right now. And every time we talk about like the secret police and all this like weird, shady stuff going on, I think about that show. But if you haven't heard of or seen Babylon Berlin, I can highly recommend it. It's on Netflix here in Canada. It's a German show, and it is very like noir detective. Secret police, political drama kind of stuff, all set during the sort of waning days of the Weimar Republic. Weimar, I could never get that spot on. But yeah, it's an amazing show, and every time we talk about things like, oh, great, we can take some names down and stuff like that, I think about that show because that's basically a huge part of that show. And yes, we do have the secret police, Jazzy B, and they're currently investigating our opposition, who, by the way, just as a reminder, tried to end our emergency decree, and that's now been escalated to the Supreme Court. So that's definitely going to result in some interesting twists and turns. Alicia, how's it going? Hey, just got in from windy, wet weather. Hope I haven't missed too much. Not too much at all. We just kind of did a bit of a recap, talked some smack about our former allies, and just taking a look at the news right now before we dive in full force. Yeah, this is the weather. It's definitely autumn. It's definitely autumn up over here as well. Weimar, thank you, Weimar Republic. Deutschland 83, okay, with follow-ups in 86 and 89. Unfamiliar with that. I will check it out. Alright, the Hall Sword Post, what do you have to say? Gotta scroll all the way down over here. Oh, again, right, we did also end conscription, what's it called, mandatory conscription. That was also brought to an end by the recommendation, or on the recommendation of our, ministers, right? Housewives march to defend Swordish tradition in Anrika. As the Swordish League of Women spearheaded a march for so-called education equality in Anrika, a group of self-proclaimed happy housewives led a counter-protest. Their argument is that pulling girls out of handicraft classes and forcing them into science classes alongside boys would be an affront to Swordish tradition, and that co-ed restrooms in schools would be the logical next step. We at the Hall Sword Post hope President Rain will make the same decision and not fall into the trap of pursuing unnecessary changes in the classrooms. Yeah, I am really curious how this goes, because just as a reminder again here, we've put our foot down as a bit of a traditionalist, holding on to the old ways, potentially baiting Monica into a divorce that we don't really want. We do want to have a happy family unit, but it's been an interesting, this didn't happen last time. We didn't have this stuff showing up in the news last time, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. Welland border reinforcements announced. As Welland begins the Operation Bear Trap against BFF targets, Maroon Palace has reiterated the commitment to defending our Welland border against any threats and announced new reinforcements to the border. The palace announced that the Swordish armed forces are working in close cooperation with the Wessex armed forces. As part of the mobilization order, General Vulcan has made comments saying, "Swordish armed forces, as always, stand vigilant against any threats inside and outside of our borders. We will not allow any terrorists to waltz into Sordland." The extent of the border reinforcement was not disclosed as of yet. Cool. Things are looking good. We'll leave the radical for later. Let's not start our Fridays with the radical and its whining on its rag of a paper. ASN, how's it going? Having a good Friday, I hope. I don't think we've taken many names down. Yeah, when was the last time we wrote a note in our notepad? That's a good question, actually. Carl is a dude. I think it's when Carl Grieser came through and showed his support for our potentially questionable ways is the last time we took a note. So it was a little while ago. Sergio LP, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it. Again, having a good Friday, I hope. Glad you could come through, buddy. Alright, amid spiking tensions with Agnolia, Volksland increases naval presence. This was the one reason why I was hesitant to go with the port. Like I was talking about earlier, we have a couple of options for our next infrastructure project. The airport, the port, naval port, ship port, trade, seaport, that's the word. We've got the airport, the seaport, and then there's the agricultural zone, and another thing that I can't remember right now. And I was kind of leaning towards the seaport because I would help the businesses in the nation who would then ideally partake in, yes, trickle up economics, i.e. line my pockets. But with this situation at the Markian Sea, I'm a little hesitant about that. I'm worried that there might be issues, especially if the Great Strait gets blockaded or anything like that. That could be trouble for us. Suzerain released on Nintendo Switch. Did it? Oh, awesome. That's great. I'm happy to hear that for the developers and all, because this game definitely needs to be in more hands, literally, I guess. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's always nice to see. I'm curious to see how it gets received on the Switch. So let's see, yeah. So the reports from Eastern Markopa show 2 Volkslandian aircraft carriers are patrolling the Markian Sea around the Helgeland Island, a massive show of naval force amid spiking tensions with Agnolia. Stalport could interpret it as a provocation in the region, say experts on the region. The sudden and simultaneous appearance of the 2 carriers, accompanied by Navy cruisers, destroyers, and aircraft, comes as Volksland escalates criticism of Agnolia's increasing control over Helgeland and its increasing forays around the island. Reports show 2 Volkslandian aircraft carriers are patrolling. Okay, yeah. So this is Volksland inserting a lot of its navy into the region. Did we miss Swordland's diplomacy disappoints? Oh no, there's actually 3 articles from Geopolitical. The new diplomatic initiative presented by the Foreign Ministry has led to a major disappointment when President Rain went to Stalport only to come back empty-handed. The meeting with PM Horton seems to have gone negatively, diminishing the chances for closer ties between the 2 countries. In a time when Sordland needs more allies, this comes as news of sorrow. Listen, it was entirely planned. That's exactly what I wanted. Operation Bear Trap begins. President Smolak has declared the start of Operation Bear Trap against a separatist militant group that plagues northern Welland, the Blutish Freedom Front. Rumburg, Agnolia, and Lesbia has condemned the mobilization order, citing the war crimes committed during the previous assault against the Blutish people, while Sordland has not made any comments on the matter. Watchtower of Human Rights said that they will be following the developments closely for any infractions on human rights violations. You know what's, I almost feel like Smolak here is so proud of the name he came up with, Bear Trap, that he's just like telling everybody, don't you normally keep these things on the down low until like afterwards? I guess not. I guess the names of military operations are common knowledge. I'm trying to think back on like, you know, when was like, just as a real world example, when was Desert Storm known as Desert Storm? Was it right from the beginning? Like, you know, when does the name get publicized? You know what I mean? Airport would be nice for some tourist attractions. Well, that's the thing. It's like I was thinking about. Wait, hang on. Why is tourist in air quotes there? I'm curious about that first. I was thinking about tourism though, as like the tourism industry would be maybe a nice thing to tap into. But like this nation is not a place where tourists will be coming anytime soon. This is definitely not. Between the emergency decree, between all these foreign, politicians and bodies trying to bring down our glorious nation, we're not a very attractive tourist destination right now, which is another sort of point of hesitation. There's a lot of points of hesitation with all of the decisions that connect us to the world. Oh, I don't want to become an isolationist nation, but with everything that's going on around us, it's starting to feel more and more likely. All right, Radical, what do you have to say? Rain closes door to refugees from Welland. To terrorists from Welland. You got a typo there, buddy. The bloodthirsty dictator Victor Smolak has begun his operation against the Bluish Freedom Front in northern Welland. The operation's name? Operation Bear Trap. Maroon Palace gave its support to the operation and stated that the Swordish Border Guard will be in close contact with the Wessex Armed Forces to stop any fleeing militants. Although this act might seem justifiable at first, Victor Smolak's track record is apparent. He's been accused and condemned by the international community for many war crimes against innocent Bluish people before. Smolak has already ordered the bombings on civilian schools and hospitals, calling them breeding grounds for terrorists. Oh, Jesus Christ. President Rain's response to close our borders to prevent any stragglers from coming into Sordland is troubling, for he is forgetting something. Not all stragglers from this war will be armed militants. Man, I forgot he does that. That is kind of messed up. Right. It's very messed up. Bombing, yeah. That's, I mean, don't think I have to add to that. Protesters brutally beaten by police. As if we needed more evidence of Anton Rain's hateful campaign against the Bluish people, 4 student protesters in Dare were savagely beaten by police officers as they attempted to demonstrate against the administration's anti-Bluish policies. Witnesses at the scene say the protesters were demonstrating peacefully and did nothing to instigate this shameful attack by the police. It seems that this systemic racism within Sordland's police forces is going nowhere anytime soon. See, this is the thing. It's like these guys just don't pay attention to the actual news in the nation. We have very strict laws about these types of gatherings, and those strict laws say they're not allowed. So they were breaking the law. It's like, oh, they did nothing to instigate this attack. Well, they were breaking the law, and they were not dispersing, and that had to be taken care of. It really is that simple. It's not that complicated. I don't understand. I mean, the Radical is a fake newspaper, right? So they just print whatever they want to. Give me a quick second over here, folks. We've got window cleaning going on, and I feel like the window cleaner is going to like slowly come by this window, and that would be very awkward. I'm a lot closer to the window at this place than I was at the old place, and yeah, I'm just gonna close the blinds. Give me a quick second over here, folks. Nothing quite like looking over to the side and making awkward eye contact as I talk into a mic. Not what I'm looking for. All right, so that's the news taken care of. Jeez. They're bloods equal terrorists. Yeah, it's as simple as that. But I mean, but still, you know, bombing like maternity wards and stuff like that's there's a line, right? At one point, you got to look in the mirror. But hey, listen, we're not involved in that. We're not doing any of that. We're just trying to protect our borders. It's that simple. We're not doing that as much as people are trying to paint us with the same brush, you know? Don't want to challenge the window washer to a staring contest? No, I do not. The news, sometimes it's better to report new thing than all this negativity, right? Just find something positive to talk about. Gosh, right? Find something positive. The window cleaner is a foreign agent. Oh, man. Oh, I should actually mention again, to those of you that missed it last time on Monday, I guess, Spindle found a solution to all the crashing with Streamlabs, and it didn't crash at all on Monday when we were streaming, so it does look like we're past that phase of this channel's live streaming. Thank God. Education privatization update. What's going on here? The Ministry of Education has reported that the privatization effort for education has been going well, and they're on track to meet targets. Beautiful. The capital received from the privatized schools and competing private investors has already shown results in the form of new schools and improved quality of education in most major cities. Okay, interesting. I am curious, and I'm not looking for an answer, I don't think, but I'm curious about this game's own biases. Because like, how does it position things, right? Right now it's making this privatization sound like it's absolutely fantastic. Like the privatization of education. Does it keep that up, or does it start to show us the dark side of that topic? You know, I'm curious. Operation Desert Storm was announced Jan 17th, 1990, same day as when the war. Okay, yeah, I guess you pretty much immediately go like, here's our flashy name, so you can avert your eyes from all the all the hardship that it brings. I guess. Investment in mega project. There are several investment projects outlined at which we could start. All right, so this is the ultimate decision, right? So the Ministry of Economy has put forward 4 bold plans for investment projects, with each aiming to solve different issues ranging from production to infrastructure. The 4 available investments are Benfi International Airport, Morna Seaport, Conriat Industrial Zone, and Sarna Agricultural Zone. Okay, so there's the Conriat Industrial Zone and the Morna Seaport that both are maybe worth considering. I wish I could get brief kind of like details on all of these. So the Morna Seaport would, like I was saying, kind of like rely on this not escalating, right? I'm a little worried about that. So I'm wondering if we don't focus on the Conriat Economic Zone, because that kind of works, again, like I was saying, on improving the core of the nation, helping some of these businesses flourish even more. So maybe we go with the Conriat Economic Zone. And what do you guys think? The problem is that this will cost 2 government budgets. So we've seen that little bit of green, and we're going right back down into the red. It makes me think of, oh god, weird reference, unexpected reference even for me right now, but it reminds me of like Matrix Revolutions, when they're going up and they like crack through the clouds for like a split second. For a split second, it's like, oh look, the sun, and then right back down into the depths. That's what it makes me think of. I'm tempted with the Conriat Industrial Zone. What do you guys think? Operation Desert Rain. Does vote me or it's war. Desert Rain is actually, that sounds like a very positive operation. That sounds like an attempt to, like, you know, bring like, I don't want to say reforestation, because I don't think, unless the desert was a result of desertification, it's not necessarily that there was a forest there before, but Operation Desert Rain makes it sound like you brought, you know, green to the desert and sustenance and life to the desert. That actually sounds like a good thing. Goal, finally able to catch live stream, but sadly going to go watch your Planet Zoo. I have a lot to catch up on. Alright, sounds good. Well, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. We actually have, I don't know if you're still around or if you've left already, but we have a Planet Zoo live stream later on today as well. It'll be, let's see, it's in about 13 and a half hours that live stream is going to be happening. If you want to come and hang out then and just chill a little bit while we're playing some Planet Zoo, just a heads up. Conriat Industrial Zone, Conriat sounds good. How is the agriculture for the country? No one's starving? I think we'd have an answer to that question if we cared to look into it. I don't think anybody's starving, though. Jokes aside, I don't think anybody's starving, though it's not something we've necessarily focused on. We've definitely been a bit more industrialist and money hungry in that way, where the industrial zone will make more money, and so that's what we're going to focus on. Like, we didn't focus on the highway project that would help take people to some of the agricultural zones, up north. So I don't know. I don't think we have those issues, though. I haven't seen any issues like that come up, apart from like people who are unemployed and therefore broke and therefore unable to afford, you know, decent food and things like that. I imagine. I'm thinking the industrial zone. Let me just take a quick drink of water over here, folks. Starting to lose my voice already, but I'm thinking the industrial zone. We'll see what that translates to, and hopefully the economy recovers, because the budget again is about to take a decent hit over here. I see some of y'all in chat agreeing with the industrial zone as well. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Let's go for it. The Conriat Industrial Zone. A little self-serving, I suppose. We'll see what that does for us. -1. Not as bad as it could be. We've seen much worse. I mean, geez, we've seen -4. I think, did we at one point see -6? I wouldn't be surprised. I order the construction of the industrial zone in Conriat. We'll see how long that takes, and hopefully have a wonderful time. Over at there, we have the budget allocation of healthcare. All right. Oh no, agricultural zone equals more grain. Jeez. On fire today, Natalie. On fire. I like that. That's a solid one. More grain. Oh my god. I was having my afternoon tea in my office and going through newspapers. One of the headlines piqued my interest. It read, "Polio Crisis in Welland." Before I could start reading, I heard a couple knocks. Pascal entered, followed by Lucien. Mr. President, it's time for the scheduled healthcare meeting. Good afternoon. Please take your seats. Oh. Yeah, oh, that's so weird. There's a sudden shift in tense over here. This is what, like present continuous or something? Everything else is always in past tense, right? They took their seats, and Pascal produced documents from his suitcase. He put them on the table. Sorry, that really threw me off. Pascal looked at the newspaper I was reading. Very troubling news from Welland, Mr. President. I've just returned from a meeting with our top scientists on the matter of polio. It seems to be spreading. This might have dire consequences in the region. I'm not worried. It'll stop before it reaches Sordland. Okay, listen, I'm not an idiot. I'm a despot, not an idiot. Nah, I couldn't come up with anything clever there. But I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. What are we doing to prepare? Why am I just learning this from a newspaper? No, I'm not gonna... Look at that genuine smile. I'm not gonna talk like that to this guy. What are we doing to prepare? Yeah. I want this to be... I want to figure out what actions we have in mind. Frog, you've been at -8? Did you recover from that, or did you kind of just like... Did everything just kind of like wither away? Still 2,000, how's it going, buddy? Done with work. Seems tightening the border was the best healthcare program we could have done. Oh, man. Coming in hot. Yeah, I guess so. I was just kind of thinking that as well. So it's like, hey, you know, we're eliminating all the disease before it crosses the border. How's it going? Hope you're having a good Friday, bud. All right, what are we doing to prepare? We've notified all of our healthcare staff, especially the ones closer to the Welland border. Unfortunately, these are also the more rural areas where we lack equipment and staff. What I was told by our researchers was that with the current infection rate, there will soon be millions of people affected by polio. We need to be ready for any possibility. I doubt it's that serious yet. Regardless, back to the topic, Mr. Bennywell. Pascal put on his reading glasses and went through the documents. He didn't say anything for a whole minute. Mr. Bennywell? Yes, of course. Let's start. He put the papers down, cleared his throat, and looked at me. In general, the Ministry is somewhat content with the budget decision that was made. At least we didn't get a cut. But I'm still happy that the administration continues to support healthcare at the same level as before, though this limits our options significantly. Our health services seem to be working fine and don't require more investment. I'm sure we can improve what we have, or we will have to make do with what we have. I want you to lead the way to solutions in healthcare. Oh, I hate that kind of like... Oh, it's like a boss telling you that, I understand this deadline is impossible, but I want you to lead the team, you know, to success. I believe in you. It's like, buddy, I don't care how much you believe in me, this is impossible. It was not a decision that I made lightly. I'm thinking, I might actually go with that. As much as I hate it, I might actually go with that. Your people can't be sick if you don't let anyone move in or not. Oh, God. I come up with an industry pun and you come up with the despot idiot pun. We'll play it by ear, Natalie. Still haven't had, as much as Rain is having his morning cup of tea, I haven't had mine. This being episode 13, imagine if everything goes wrong. I was thinking that last night when I set up the thumbnail and stuff. I was thinking that last night. Frog, some events took place and made it very hard to recover. Did good, but kind of lost the game. Yeah, a -8 is going to be hard to recover from. We'll have to make do with what we have. I want you to lead the way to solutions in healthcare. God, I hate myself for clicking that one. I don't see many ways out of this particular situation. We need funds to bring improvements. As you know, I've been preparing a new privatization program that would create funds through selling of unused ministry property and some extra taxes. See, that's what I mean by solutions in healthcare, Pascal. You knew what I was talking about. I knew you'd find a way. It might not go against our strategy to promote a market economy, but I'm personally against privatization of government services. Such vital services must be under state control. Aside from creating additional funds, there's a long-term problem with privatization in a country like Sordland. See, here we go. So now the game, like just as it was kind of like touching on pro-private education, now it's kind of touching on anti-private healthcare. Don't know where the where they lean. I'm curious. I don't see a problem with privatization. I mean, again, I don't, right? More potential rich folks to invest in me. I don't see a problem with privatization, or you're right. This might be a structural issue, especially due to private greed and market manipulation. Okay, let's hear Lucian out, right? He's our chief strategist. Let's hear him out. What are those problems? People are already lacking proper health care, even though it's free. What happens when you privatize? Prices increase as state hospitals close due to sales. We will prevent the worst-case scenarios. There needs to be healthy structural improvements in this sector. Now, this is not Arcasia, nor Lesbia. You're talking about Sordland, in which the healthcare is free for now. We have people who have their lives depending on a service that is free to them. Messing with that structure will definitely hurt us politically in the future. That I know for sure. But the choice is yours, Mr. President. Oh, okay. Damn. Now I'm a little thrown off. If it's gonna hurt us politically, now I'm a little thrown off. See, because what's the other option? Don't improve healthcare? Like, I wish that was option 3 over here. Okay, well, what do you propose? We'll keep healthcare in state control, don't allow any private involvement that could endanger core health services, or we'll promote privatization and allow the private sector to invest and buy government's health properties. We have no option to go back on our budget decision and add more budget for healthcare. Right, like that's not an option. So it's either, hey, figure out a way to make some more money through privatization and use that to provide healthcare to the people that can afford it, or don't privatize and then what? Provide worse healthcare for everybody, right? Like, oh god, this is where it starts to get funky. Is it better to have mediocre healthcare for all, or good healthcare to ensure the survival of at least some? There are I know my opinion on that question, but that's basically what this is asking us right now, and I'm wondering what Anton would have to say, because again, if we have this polio thing run rampant, oh god, polio run rampant. That's should have stopped myself before I went with that one. If we have polio run rampant across the country, then that's a problem. That's a problem. We're possibly going to war, so the numbers may go down anyway. That's the bright side, is that if we have poor health care, it'll help solve the unemployment crisis, I guess. Yeah, Lucian, honestly, Averon, you're very right there. In every playthrough, we come to the same conclusion. We respect Lucian in this household. It's true, though. He like, when he puts his foot down like this, we need to remember, this guy knows his stuff. A painful decision. Oh, dear Lord. Be sure to be health careful with this decision. God. More industries, more Anton factoring. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, Percy, just it sounds like, oh god, it's terrible. It sounds like a fundraiser. This is so bad. It's like, hey everyone, come on out to the Run for Polio fundraiser. It's terrible. Privatize, get the money back in the pocket. We need to be greedy. I know, but at the same time, again, Lucian. God damn it! I was not expecting to make this decision quite like this. Lucian's got a point. Maybe we should keep all that money in the world. Means nothing if we become a nobody and then get assassinated in an alley someday, right? Fine. We'll keep healthcare in state control. Don't allow any private involvement that could endanger core health services. I mean, this sounds kind of mixed, right? Honestly, feels like a coin flip. You're right. Actually, Sam Hampton, you have an excellent point there. It would go against our election promises, wouldn't it? I'm surprised nobody brought that up in game. Not privatizing would go against our election promise, technically. Yeah, sure. And between that and Averon saying a true despot would privatize this, I think you're right. As much as this, it is a painful decision. Goddamn, less than 19 quality stuff. We will promote privatization and allow the private sector to invest and buy government's health properties. Excellent. We can turn that extra money to something useful. I shall let my partners know. I don't think this was the right choice. Well, since we'll have extra funds, the spending policy question remains. How are we going to spend our money for health? The health of my wallet, of course. What are you suggesting? We should plan on building new hospitals. We could work on increasing salaries. focus on improving treatment in our rural areas. Kind of tempted towards 4, because I don't want polio to, ravage our countryside. But what are your suggestions, Pascal? Pascal won the argument between himself and Lucien. What can I say? Pascal just knows how to apply pressure. We have 3 options to use the majority of our funds on. We can build new hospitals where needed. We can spend money on increasing salaries for health workers, or we can spend money to improve existing treatment in rural areas. Building new hospitals sounds interesting. It would boost our popularity. I personally like the idea too, but I don't see the lack of hospitals in certain cities as a huge issue. The real issue is the quality of health staff and access to it in desolate areas, but building hospitals would also be good. Building new hospitals would be much more valuable to us from a political perspective. It's a tangible fact we can show and use to our advantage. I believe improving treatment in rural areas should be our focus, Mr. President. It would be best to consider the political advantages of each one, as well as the practical advantages, before making a decision. A few minutes went by in contemplation as the moment to make a decision came near. Wait, Lucien, hold on. Weigh in, buddy. What do you think about rural areas? I feel like Lucien is suggesting that building new hospitals is the way to go. So I'm actually thinking maybe we do. Oh man, but, a polio outbreak is not good for us. But while the privatization might hurt, here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking with Lucien's logic here. Privatization of healthcare makes us look bad to everybody who's used to getting free healthcare and relies on free healthcare, right? But if we're then able to say, hey, look, but by doing that, look at all these literal buildings that have been erected that now provide healthcare where it didn't exist before, that would make us look good. That makes sense. I don't think that same benefit is derived from improving rural treatment or making doctors happier, right? Doctors don't know that there's raises. Doctors, nurses, they all don't know that there's a raise on the table. So it's not like they're going to be upset about it. I don't think, right? I'm a little worried about the polio situation, but we'll run with it. I think more private hospitals means more money and jobs. Yeah, that's also true. Employment, right, for folks. More employment means people are wealthier, means they're able to actually afford the new private health care. I don't think... Pickle Babushka, first of all, how's it going, buddy? Glad you could come through. Go for 2 increased salaries. I don't know if that would... help us as much. No one weighed in on that. I wish I could... That's the thing. That's the thing about this game sometimes. It's like, I just wish I could ask everyone for their opinion on everything before I make a decision. I'm the president of a nation, I'm not making a small... I'm not deciding on what to have for dinner, right? This is a big decision. I wish I could actually turn to my advisors a bit more sometimes. Stopping a potential epidemic looks good, though. Yeah, see, here's the thing, though. You gotta let that epidemic rage and then stop it, because if you stop it before it rages, then nobody knows you did something impressive. It's just like, well, yeah, it was whatever. It's just whatever, it's fine. It wasn't going to be a problem in the first place, is what people will start to say. I think I'm going to be going against popular opinion in chat over here. I think we're going to go with Lucien. I see a couple calls for 2, a call for 3. Well, it's not necessary that the hospitals are just in the big cities, right? I think I'll go with Lucien. We're just shooting ourselves in both feet. Listen to Pascal when we should have listened to Lucien. Listen to Lucien when we should be listening to Pascal. Yeah, let's go for it. Build new hospitals where they're needed. Access to health will be available for all. It says where they are needed, so new hospitals in rural areas as well. Doctors and staff won't be incentivized to work there, but at least we'll have new hospitals. And again, it's private, so with that comes private salaries and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see where it takes us. Build new hospitals where they're needed. Access to health will be available for all. Wishful thinking. We shall begin plans of hospital constructions immediately. That is all then. Very well. A fruitful meeting, nevertheless. Nice and short. Thank you for the meeting. Pascal gathered his documents and left along with Lucien. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I do like, Frog, your thinking there, though. If we stop the epidemic too soon, more Bloods will survive. Dark, man, dark. Gordon Fenton, how's it going, buddy? Been some time. Glad you can make it. Oh, I just saw your call for 3 there. My apologies. I think I was leaning towards the hospitals for a bit, though. I think it would have been hard to shake me off that, especially after Lucien insisting, especially after us ignoring Lucien's earlier insistence. Welfare over here. New hospitals. Hey, something's in the green over here. New hospitals have been built around the country where needed, increasing access to health services. Beautiful. But there is the health gap. Privatization in health caused richer and poorer communities to receive different services, causing a gap. And listen, as long as they're receiving services, though, right? Next time they bring this up, I'll just shut healthcare down entirely. Sean, how's it going, buddy? I'm glad you could come through. And Risto Vit, how goes, how goes? I'm late, but better late than never. You know what they say. A wizard is never late. But I'm glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. Hospitals are there, empty, but there. Oh, I should hope not. Averon. Next, they're going to want food and houses. Ugh, can you imagine? The Ursan versus Swordland case. A landmark court filing has been appealed to the Court of Appeals today and is under review by the Minister of Justice. Lawyer and Blutish civil rights activist Isheval Ursan sued the Dare municipality, led by Felix Braun, for the infringement of constitutional rights regarding religious expression. The case questions the legality of the Religious Harmony Bill, the separate legal treatment of the Blutish in Dare, and by extension, in the whole of Bergia. Well, this is interesting, because this was not anything we'd seen, because previously we'd shut down the Religious Harmony Bill. So this should result in a new thread or two, I think. What else do we have going on? I thought I saw... Oh, what's happening here? The Welland Border Report. Chief of the Armed Forces, Vulcan Kruger, reported that the Wessex Armed Forces are moving north towards the town of Vernon. On their way, many Blutish villages were assaulted, and the initial reports indicate a high death toll. As they are approaching closer to the border, Wessex Army's movement will be observed closely. Many displaced refugees from the battles have been seen moving towards the Swordish border. They've been turned around forcefully to ensure the complete defense of the border. Wonderful. Our armed forces are doing well. If Lesbia has such a bleeding heart, maybe they should take in some of these refugees, right? Conrado C, how's it going, buddy? Hospitals are made to concentrate large amounts of sick people and are more appropriate for cities. Even in the country, they tend to stay in towns, which is still far for some people. True. But counterpoint, you get village hospitals. You get village hospitals. They're smaller, but I've definitely been in countries that have villages in sort of the quote-unquote true sense of the word, where they have like small hospitals, or there'll be a town, yes, nearby that has a hospital, but they'll drive out for like weekly, visits to the villages in like a servicing area. Basically, we could make it work. We could figure it out. It's a terrible decision, practically speaking, but as a despot who wants privatization and a good image, we could make it work. Probably, Sean. I wouldn't be surprised. Taking a look at one was kind of a catch-all, though. Yeah, that's my I guess hope, Gordon. Pickle Babushka. High death toll. Good. We're in need of good news. Carl Meyer, how's it going, buddy? Having a good day, I hope. How are all the vice despots doing this morning? Yeah, how are y'all doing? Actually, I don't think I asked quite properly. I just said I hope you're having a good one. How are y'all doing? As our economy is, well, not our economy, but our budget is recovering already again from -1 to 0. This is great. What does the news have to say? We'll end with the radical. Geopolitical. Thousands protest the new governor of Helgeland. Thousands in Helgeport took to the streets to protest the Agnolian government's increasing control over Helgeland administration, following the appointment of a new governor. Demonstrators protested the Agnolian government's decision to appoint a governor from the Agnolian mainland without holding any local elections on the island. Volkslandian leader Chancellor Hegel was quick to condemn the decision. Majority of the residents of the island still claim Volg heritage or have Volkslandian ancestry. Experts say that the increasing tensions between Agnolia and Volksland prompted the Agnolian authorities to make this decision with an aim to increase their control over the island. Overreaching. These guys are overreaching. Economists. Government's iron grip on health ends. The administration has decided. Privatization will be allowed in the health system. We've seen what state-run healthcare has to offer. Long wait times, outdated equipment, doctors who care more about stamping their time cards than serving patients. Analysts at The Economist have run the numbers. We've got nothing to lose by allowing reasonable privatization, by allowing the companies to take the reins, and everything to gain. More competition, better service, and greater incentive for medical innovation. The state can't fill all gaps of systems, and therefore the market should aid in these efforts. President Rain is walking on the path of reason on this matter. Ooh, okay, economists showing their leanings a little bit. Very clearly with this one. Very, very clearly with this one. And I thought I saw... Sean, you gotta go? Alright, sounds good. Well, thanks for dropping by. Enjoy that stream, and I'm curious what they're showing off right now. But thanks for coming through, and enjoy. Need ambulances to take people to faraway hospitals? Well, you always need that, right? You always need that. Whether it's sometimes even a mid-sized hospital in the city doesn't have everything you might need, and you need to be taken to a bigger hospital or a more advanced hospital. Right? That happens all the time, right? Right? Invest in rural graveyards. More private sector money. Oh, Lord. I mean, I guess. That's one way of looking at it. Alright, what do we have over here? Ishval Ursan is right. You would say that. The troubling and justified case of Ishval Ursan is making its way from the lower courts to the Ministry of Justice, and by order to the Supreme Court thereafter. The systemic racism felt around the country seems to know no limits, especially when it comes to the largest minority of our nation. The truth is that the situation is very bleak, and the Blutish people demand their long-awaited rights. The Constitution protects the individual rights on paper, but those who uphold and enforce the law pay little attention to such legalities. It gets even worse when justified legal cases like these are made and appealed to the Supreme Court. The general outcome is always depressingly unjust. Unfortunately, nobody expects otherwise in this case either. Well, yeah, because justice needs to be dealt, not whatever you envision as your dream world. I like how The Economist is written in red, typically a socialist color, and radical in blue, typically a right color, which does not match their views. See, the, it's kind of like, I see where you're coming from. I wonder if being from, trying to apply that to what, because that is typically the color associations, yes. I'm trying to apply that to the party colors up north over here. Jan, yes, it's an excellent game. I do agree. It's a very good game. I was absolutely loving Suzerain. Actually, our second playthrough now. Blood's this, women's rights that. Yeah, all just bickering, Sam. They're all just bickering. Can you just ask we stop calling them hospitals and start calling them hospolios? Oh dear. Maybe if they solve the polio crisis. A real threat to public health care. On that note, reports are coming in that the Rain administration has decided on privatizing the Swordish health system. If this happens, it will be one of the biggest mistakes of Rain's presidency. Thousands of Sordland's rural citizens already lack access to affordable health care, with clinics and hospitals in the hands of greedy corporations. This gap would enlarge even further. We must first reform the system we have, rather than promise better care to the rich. The drastic privatization efforts, while systemic issues exist in the system, would only allow the poor to suffer more under capitalist interest. Man, every decision I make, the radical calls the worst decision. It's like crying wolf. It's like, oh, it's the end of the world. Oh, it's the end of the world. Everything's the end of the world with these guys. Hopefully people realize that and they stop reading that rag. I hope this game does well on Switch too. I'm curious to see, because it's a relatively different demographic on Switch, right? Like, there are a lot of games that I see myself playing while I'm, like, you know, chilling in the park, for example. I don't know if Suzerain is one of those. But then again, I'm thinking about the portability, because I have a desktop that I play all my, like, at-home games on, right? Like a desktop PC or whatnot. But I do wonder about the appeal on the Switch. I hope it does well, though. It's a great game. I hope it does well. The Ragticle. There it is. There it is. I'm meeting with Chief Justice on the Emergency Act. Yeah, what's going on over here? So just as a reminder, again, the opposing parties tried to shut down the Emergency Act. They were outvoted, so the emergency continues. However, it's now been taken up to the Supreme Court, where it seems like things aren't as solid as we were promised. So I'm a little concerned about that. Earlier in the day, I learned that Franz Richter's complaint had been accepted by the Supreme Court for review. I'd also been hearing countless reports about our police forces becoming reluctant to enforce the rules of the emergency. Oh, come on! I called Chief Justice Hawker's office to demand an explanation, but he wasn't in. I sat by the phone, waiting for him to call back. I waited and waited. Suddenly, I heard a knock on the door. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. President, but Justice Garassi is here to see you? Oh, God. I mean, I feel like I'm not going to have a choice over here, and right now I need some allies on the bench over here. So I guess we'll have him brought in, and we'll have a conversation with Justice Garassi. Now, Heron Garassi is a jurist and politician currently serving on the Supreme Court, blah, 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 blah. Before his career, blah, 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 blah. Saul's term, joined the USP, became a member, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. Strong supporter of Saul. Okay. That's promising, right? Infamous for his obstructionist methods against President Ewald Alfonso and his policies. Oh, no. So this could be good, this could be horribly wrong. That's great. That's great. Saketh, how's it going, buddy? Glad you could come through. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful time. I mean, it's been some time. How you doing, bud? The Pickle Babushka. Yeah, I mean, also, I mean, they're it's a spectrum, isn't it? It's a spectrum, isn't it? But anyway, let's see. Yeah, sure. Send him in. Right away. She opened the door for Heron Garassi and closed the door behind her. Hello, Mr. President. Sorry to have come unannounced, but I'm sure you expected us. I'm sorry if I disappointed you, but the Chief Justice is very busy. Not going to be upset. Again, like I said, we need allies. What is the court plotting? Yeah, they're definitely up to something. These are all very harsh options. None of these are very, like, kind options. None of these are very, like, you know, welcoming or diplomatic, I should say, options. So I don't know which one to go in with over here. I guess just a straight up let's get to the point is the most polite. Accusing them of plotting is maybe a little premature. Saying I'm busy too is a little like it's not even passive aggressive, it's just straight up aggressive. And just saying I'm disappointed is not helping anybody. I think let's get to the point is the way to go. Crimson Gamer coming through, rejoining as another member here. A warm welcome, folks, to our latest night. Crimson Gamer, thank you very much, buddy. Again, and as always, as you're very well aware, I'm sure it really helps support the channel, the streams, and everything. It keeps it all, as I like to say again, alive and running smoothly. So thank you very much, folks. Love to see the banners and the E's get thrown up. A warm welcome to our latest member. Thanks, bud. Indeed, welcome back to the order, as Natalie says. On the topic of the order, folks, I just want to mention really quickly again, if you aren't already in our Discord, don't hesitate to join in. Not only is there a channel for Suzerain specifically, but there's also just tons of games happening, lots of people hanging out, having a good time. Again, over 4,000 members, talking about all kinds of stuff. Great place to find some good friends to just hang out with, chill with, and maybe game with as well. Got some plans for some community gaming as well in the very near future. So that'll be some good times. Yeah, I think Rain's doing all right. I think he's doing all right. Avron says, I just read. The puns, you mean? 3 and 4 are the least emotional. Yeah, I feel like 3 and 4. That's a good way to put it. They are the least emotional, and of the two, I think 3 is maybe the way to go. Can the Chief Justice not have a very tragic accident where he shot himself twice in the head? Yeah. Oh, so it was suicide. He's got 3 shots from a revolver to the back of his head. Yeah. All choices are bad choices. Suzerain gives the player dilemmas, and that's what makes it so great. That is what makes it so great. All right, Aaron, let's get to the point here. What's going on? Of course. You already know that Franz Richter has filed a complaint about your Emergency Act being unconstitutional. The judges couldn't ignore his arguments. But as we have promised, the court is doing its best to help you out. Doing its best, though? What do you mean? Even though the arguments filed by Richter are noteworthy and do give us the right to deem your actions as unconstitutional. He smiled. Oh. Oh my god. I'm brimming with rage right now. These guys are gonna try to be smart with me. I could call him out. What's he gonna say? Is that a threat? He's gonna say, no, of course that's not a threat. Hope you really are doing your best, Mr. Garasi. Oh yeah, for sure. The audacity of that smile, for real. Like words out of my, like plucked from my mind there, Natalie. The audacity of that smile. And here comes the extortion. Yeah, for sure, Ted. For sure. Mr. Garasi is very much asking for tragic accidents. Yeah. I could try and play this diplomatic. It's like, yeah, I hope you really are doing your best. Sort of counter his passive aggressiveness with my own. I hope you really are doing your best, Mr. Garasi. Of course we are, Mr. President. Rest assured, everything's going to work out. The old guard are happy with the Emergency Act, and Mr. Hawker is currently working on a legal argument against Mr. Richter's case. But as you know, the Constitution states, no state shall modify or suspend the rights of freedom defined in Article 100 of the Constitution unless actually invaded or in such imminent danger as will not allow for delay. This is fairly clear. Don't you dare stab me in the back. I'm really tempted to... I don't want to... it's so difficult because, like, I don't want to escalate, and yet at the same time, it almost feels like we need to make it very clear that we see what they're up to here. You know what I mean? Garasi, more like Garisi, am I right? Mr. Grinasi, goddamn. Yeah, I'm thinking about and. It's like, go on. It's one of those things where it's just like, kind of like, even being quiet is the best option in a conversation sometimes. In a confrontational conversation, sometimes you just stay quiet and the other party says a bit too much, you know, or realizes that they've cacked something up. Hey, BM, that is new. Awesome. We were just talking about that last stream and how I wish that they do like a resub thing the way Twitch does, and I guess YouTube has introduced it. So BM has been with us as a warden for 10 months and says, this is new. Has it really already been 10 months? I guess it has, BM. Well, thank you so much for such prolonged support. It really, really means a tremendous deal. Folks, can we throw up some banners for BM? Can we throw up some banners to give, again, a warm welcome to the chat today for BM? That's awesome. And yeah, that is new. Oh, we were just talking about it the other day. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to see that they've implemented that, because it really does. I think it's quite nice. I think it's quite nice. And again, Bud, thank you so much for the ongoing support. It's wild, and it is wild to think 10 months, 10 months. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Also, how's your day going? How's your week been? How's your Friday going? Conrado says, swallow this for now, win the case, retire the Supreme Court, and add new judges, more modern, younger, adapted to the needs of the nation. I feel like we need older to side with us, but no, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I love seeing those banners go up. Dead Knight, it might have been the same thing YouTube was telling you. I'm not sure what it looks like on the on chat's side. I didn't even know that was a thing. There was no announcement on the back end or anything that this has been enabled and this was a new feature. That's awesome. Yes, Sackett, it's relatively recent. The return has been relatively recent, but okay. And, well, personally, I believe Sordland is in more than enough imminent danger to justify the emergency. But we must work within the boundaries defined by our Constitution, I'm sure you understand. I'll be honest with you. There are a few justices who are taking Mr. Richter's side on this. They do believe you are acting unconstitutionally and must be held accountable. With that said, they might be persuaded to rule in your favor if certain other judicial concerns were addressed. Here we go. What concerns? Mr. President, we're worried about the oligarchs, Marcel Caranti and Walter Tusk. They're in close cooperation with Arcasia and have ties to almost every other country on this continent. And as we all know, they only care about money. Yeah, me too, Heron, me too. It is clear that they're trying to profit from the violence in Sordland and abroad. We have reason to believe that they are supporting the militant organizations we are fighting against. Well, these guys are trying to actually do good. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm a little worried about this. I'm a little worried about this. Plus, in 19 says, saw it on my dashboard, each member gets 1 green message a month. Oh, interesting, interesting, interesting. Yeah, it's news to me. I wish it was on my dashboard, on like the studio side of stuff. The week's been insane, but today things are much less hectic. Glad that Friday is looking to be pretty chill. I'm glad to hear that for you, BM, and I hope you have a chill weekend ahead of you as well. Nice to be able to relax after a hectic week, especially. Always nice to be able to relax in general. I heard all the judges of the court died in the next hearing due to faulty ventilation, carbon monoxide poisoning, the tragedy. For real, though. All right. Like, what do they want me to do? Like, the oligarchs are essential to our economy. Don't be an idiot, Garasi. What are you suggesting here? We're already in an emergency, Mr. President. We also know that you've been working with them. Remember, Mr. President, those who sleep with dogs will rise with fleas. In these difficult times, when unity is so sorely needed, they pose a great threat to all of Sordland. They already control much of our economy. They can't be allowed to have that much power. Something must be done. Nationalizing their assets, for example. No. We're not having this conversation. We're not having this conversation. Jazzy B coming through with his remembership. We've got to come up with a catchier term for it now. 5 months, buddy, as a warden. Wow, Disco Elysium coming soon. It's feeling like it. It's feeling like it. I am looking forward to it, but I was hoping to complete this playthrough properly first. Thanks, but again, let's get those banners up. 5 months, eh? Man, I like being able to see the. I like being able to see it in chat and stuff. I think it makes it a bit more special. I'm glad YouTube did that. I'm glad YouTube did that. There we go, some banners. Beautiful. This is not membership milestone. True, but that's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Resub is like quick and like easy. Yeah, this is worrying. See, the old guard could definitely have us killed, but this is not acceptable. This is against our election promises. This would definitely tank our economy, I think. I don't think the state is in a position to take over all of these assets. I need to. That's a good point, Ted. It is a good alliteration. A remembership comes to me because I think like, oh, it reminds everybody how long you've been around as a member, and also of course as in yeah, I feel like we need to kind of nip this in the bud. I mean, we need to at least a little bit be like, okay, listen, check yourself before you wreck not just yourself but the entire goddamn nation. That would be too extreme, Mr. Garasi. If we do away with elections, we don't need election promises. Well, the way these guys are acting, though, I don't know if we'll be able to do away with elections in this term. Look, I'm not asking you to do anything. It's just a friendly suggestion. I hope our alliance stands strong. As I said earlier, there is nothing to worry about. The court will reject Mr. Richter's case, barring any extraordinary circumstances. Well, for now, I must leave. I hope you'll think long and hard about what we just talked about. He extended his hand towards mine. Man. What are the chances? What are the chances? We were just talking about how the problem was solved, and then I guess it wasn't. That's so weird. Now I'm really at a loss as to what caused the issue last time. Let me check something here real quick, because there is a Windows update queued up, though it hasn't happened. My same adjustments that worked last time are still around. Man, that is frustrating. The other thing that's frustrating is I really hope this is the end of the conversation, because then I can quit the game and restart and make sure you're not just staring at a black screen over here. So bear with me for a moment here, folks, as I shake his hand. I shook his hand. He says, "Goodbye, Mr. President. Thank you for your time." He went out and closed the door behind him. I leaned back in my chair. Was my decision to work with the old guard right? Even if I was wrong, would I be able to get out of this if I wanted? Game is being saved. We're going to go ahead and exit to desktop and relaunch the game. That's a little unfortunate. I'm sorry that these issues persist. Definitely is coming as a surprise to me, I can tell you that much. Hopefully it gets better. And it did come up on screen, but why don't we go ahead and I should be able to repeat that alert because I did miss it earlier. Natalie P. coming through with a super chat. I abstained from the member milestone chat and opted for this instead. Well, thank you very much, Natalie P. As always, again, as you're very well aware, that kind of stuff really helps support the channel, the streams, just keeps it all sustainable and viable and possible. Appreciate the super chat greatly. So thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's get back into this. Maybe it was the dude cleaning the windows coming in as a secret agent. Legit, on Monday, it worked perfectly for a 3-hour stream, and then all of a sudden today. Anyway, there's no point talking about it. I'll see what else it might be. Also, sending someone in his place is such a smug power move. Oh, 100%. That conversation has riled me up. Not just in character. I'm party elite is like, you piece of... This is the closest I've come to, like, not being prompted by the game and cussing somebody out. While on stream, I mean, obviously. Or while for the channel, I mean. But honestly, how dare they? How dare they? Mass assassination is certainly sounding a little appealing right now. Mass assassination. Should have thrown him off by kissing his hand. Unfortunately, not an option. Damn the old guard for real. Award company contract. Several companies have put forward their bids for the new investment project. Oh, interesting. There's a government budget ding with Underhall Construction and the Swordland State Corporation. The SSC, Underhall Construction. Dude, for real. Like, come on. Why? That's very frustrating. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry about this. I'm at a loss again, like I was saying. Don't know what I've done different from last time. I really hope the game will just show up as well. That's the weirdest thing for me, is that when the game doesn't work properly afterwards. Let me try something here. Bear with me. Bear with me. No, that didn't help. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay. Ugh, God, that's frustrating, though. It's not an ideal solution. Ugh. I can use that as an emergency when we're in the middle of a conversation or something, at least. F's in chat, yeah, for real. That's unfortunate. I'll see what the hell else it can be. I thought we had a solution there. It worked perfectly on Monday. Anyway, the SSC, Underhall Construction, and Taurus Holding companies have put forward their bids in the hopes of winning the government contract for the new ambitious investment project. Which company should we pick to lead the project? Now, it's weird to me that picking Underhall will affect the government budget. How does that make any sense? Like, we haven't had any conversations about this. We haven't had any, like, indication that this would be a, like, why would that cost be involved? I understand the Sordland State Corporation, that's a government body, and spending, I understand that. That one makes sense. But Underhall costing us money, that doesn't make any sense. It makes me kind of want to lean towards Taurus Holding. I don't remember much about Taurus Holding, so I'm just going to check them up. Are they the ones that use, like, super modern equipment and stuff like that? Founded in 1946, new and entrepreneurial private company using cutting-edge construction technology. They're in from Arcasia, that was the thing. They're known for their port expansion project in Benfey, which was completed with half the budget. Ah, I see. Taurus is connected to Richter, is it? I don't think so. I don't think they have any connections to Richter. They're a foreign entity, so there is that. Whereas Underhall Construction is a local entity, but I guess... right, I guess we do have to pay them to get the job done, which is why it's -1 government budget. But I would expect the Swordland State Corporation to be more expensive or something. Maybe Underhall is more expensive, yeah. Maybe Underhall needs a bit of an overhaul. I might go with Taurus Holding over here. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, at least Underhall is our nation's company, you know? That's what leads me towards Underhall, because at least they're swordish. I think Taurus is full of bullies, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's one way to come in under budget. What do you guys think? I mean, -1 is not that bad. We recovered from the previous -1 pretty quickly, you know? My concern is, like, I want it to be in the positive to try and help our economy. But dealing with foreign entities, that's not helping anybody. That's taking jobs away from good swordish people. That's taking a literal massive project away from a good swordish company. I think it would be sort of anathema to what we've been. And Jazzy, you think as well that Taurus has links to Friends Richter? I mean, they both hang out in Arcasia, clearly, so I guess that is more of a concern than the Codex would have us believe. So sure, let's go ahead and give this to Underhall Construction as well. Employ more good swordish citizens, right? Yeah, no, that's a tough call, Frog. Like, as much as I don't disagree with what you're saying, I feel like there's it's more in character, especially to go with Underhall here. You think it's in the codex? Sorry, let me just check here. I can't believe I missed that from Taurus Holding here. I don't see anything about Friends Richter at a glance. No, yeah. Competitive compared to swordish corporations. Yeah. Unless I'm blind, which is possible. Alright. Underhall was fine. They were fine the first time around. They were on time. They stayed on budget. Though this time there's no bribe involved, I think we can go ahead and give it to them. Oh, for friends. Okay, gotcha. Underhall Construction. Go for it. Oh god. Not looking forward to dealing with this new conflict that's coming up. Give favors with nothing in return. Think of our personal wealth. I mean, that's just it. Maybe he'll feel inclined to pay it back, right? Even though we would have gone with him anyway. That's just about Underhall Construction. Yeah, fair enough. Do we have no news? Is there any updates? Nope, just these 2 events. All right, what are we looking at? So Hull Sword has a call from Gus Manger. Fair enough, probably about our football team. And here, updates on the situation of education. Let's go ahead and talk to Gus first. Talk about our personal wealth first, perhaps. Hopefully some good news there. Please. The sun was setting over Hull Sword. I was in my office working on the preliminary details that Ciara sent over about the curriculum. The phone rang and I picked it up. Mr. President? Yes, what is it? Mr. Manger is on the line, sir. He said it was about an investment? Excellent. Connect him through. As you wish. A momentary crackling noise indicated the line change. Mr. Manger, to what do I owe the pleasure? Mr. President, as your secretary might have informed you, I'm calling about what we discussed at the party. I'm honestly very glad that I've decided to attend to Mr. Vice President's little gathering. A very enjoyable party turned out to be even more enjoyable with actual results out of it. Then let's hear the results. Well then, I'm very happy to inform you that your investment to FC Anrika has been accepted by the board members. Now that we have the president of Sordland by our side, I assure you, this year we will be champions. I sent the signed contract and we received some really nice merchandise from the team. The investment happened at the right time for the end of the year profit share too. We were immediately able to reap the financial benefits of last year, which will be sent to your personal account. Oh, hell yeah. Congratulations are in order, Mr. President. That's amazing. I'm glad I went to that party as well. Thank you. Wouldn't be possible without you. I don't want to fluff them up too much, you know? I gotta be careful how in the clouds their heads get, right? Just a small compliment, I think, goes a long way. You know, Gus, I'm glad I went to that party as well. Good news, Gus, indeed. Good news, Gus, indeed. See? I told you. I'm looking forward to more successful ventures we might do together in the future. Thank you for your time. Yeah, let me know if there are any other opportunities. Of course. I'll be in contact. Have a good evening, Mr. President. The line dropped. Come on. Yes! Oh, I love it. Up to 3. Sweet. I was hoping it would go up to 4. But I'll take up to 3. I'll take a little positive over here. What we're going to use it for, I have no idea. But, hey, I'm happy to be rich. I get to roleplay being rich? Ooh. Interesting. Gus knows the way to our heart, and that way is paved in green. Oh, I love it. I love it. Volgan and the situation of education. What do we have over here? After a meeting with a rector? What is a rector? I'm not familiar with this term. After a meeting with a rector and a brief tour of the... Oh, wait, hold on. I think I am familiar with this term, but I just haven't used it in, like, forever. Like, searching my mind. Isn't it like a, the equivalent of like a headmaster kind of a thing? Like a dean kind of a thing? A rector? Anyway, after a meeting with a rector and a brief tour of the University of Volgan, we gathered in a room with Ciara. The entire campus was visible from the windows. Students were reading books, studying, and having picnics under the trees. It reminded me of my own times at Lackhaven Business School, at least the more carefree moments. Reminiscing about the past? Sorry, I just noticed, chat, that personal wealth probably worth using to bribe the court into not stabbing me in the back? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Reminiscing about the past, yeah. How were your university? Oh, God, she's gonna go on some rant about, like, well, as a woman in the male-dominated university, I had women's rights this, women's rights that. Yes, it had its ups and downs, but it was still fun. I'm not in the mood for one of her rambles here. And now we're growing old and bitter. Oh my God, she called me out. She called me out. Oh dear. She smiled. Let's not get sidetracked. I want to start off by saying this. Unfortunately, our fuel is running out at the Ministry of Education. Our education system is in shambles, and I'm trying to do my best to pick up the pieces and keep it going. What little money we allocated from privatization will be diverted to improvements. I doubt it'll be enough to make substantial change. I'm sure you'll make do. I'll give her some confidence, right? Encourage her. I'm sure she'll figure it out. I'm sure she'll figure it out. Tyler Treasenberg, thank you very much for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying the show, buddy. If you are, again, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Let me know. It really helps me make decisions on the channel. And don't hesitate to join the Discord either. Link is in the description. And, of course, !Discord will bring you the link in chat as well. Jazzy B. A little bit, maybe. A little bit. She could read me through the screen, through the mic. I'm sure you'll make do. That is precisely the problem. We can't. We'll have to make cuts from wherever we can. She brought out a stack of papers from her bag. Spinning her ballpoint pen, she went through the papers, organizing some of them together. That's all there is for now. I've talked with Miss Suno to schedule some time to discuss the curriculum. She's a very astute woman, your secretary. You may want to consider promoting her. Okay, I'll take that into consideration. We will meet again very soon. I'll keep up the good work. Sarah put the papers back in her bag and left the meeting room. Wow, that was a very, very short meeting. That was a troublingly short meeting, in fact. Huh. Might have some trouble here. The industrial zone construction has begun. We got that notification as that conversation began, actually, so hopefully that fills up quickly and this helps recover our economy a bit as well. What does the news have to say? The Hallsword Post. A new mega project, Conriat Industrial Zone. President Rain has just announced the plans for a brand new industrial zone in Conriat. As per the announcement, Underhall Construction has been awarded with the contract, and they will be taking over the daunting task that will be transforming the city. On completion, this mega project will provide a much-needed production boost not just to Conriat, but to the entire greater Hallsword region. Excellent. Sordland today has this to say. Welland refugees fleeing to Swordish border. As Welland President Victor Smolak continues his operation against Blutish insurgents in his country, a wave of people, Wessex, Swordish, and Blutish, have been attempting to flee the conflict and cross the border into Sordland. According to the report from the Alliance of Nations, the situation inside Welland is becoming increasingly complex, with many different groups and factions entering and leaving the country. The AN report states that the international reporters are no longer being allowed inside Welland, and the information from the country has become increasingly difficult to obtain. It also explicitly warns the neighboring countries of an upcoming refugee crisis. It remains to be seen how the Reign administration will deal with the influx. Hopefully there won't be an influx to deal with, though of course Swordish people are more than welcome to cross the border. They're welcome in their home, of course. Ivalo, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it. Just got home from work. How many war crimes were done? Not enough, apparently. Not enough. We're seeing some trouble with the Supreme Court. They're starting to the puppet masters are starting to pull the strings a little bit more than they were before. I'm a little worried about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I hope we're able to use this wealth to, convince the courts to pipe down. Briefing on the current curriculum. Ooh, construction. Progress already. What do you know? Underhall. Getting some work done. Sierra has scheduled a short meeting at the Ministry of Education to discuss the current curriculum taught in schools. The ministry building was located in the government district right next to the Ministry of Health. It was tall, narrow, and wedge-shaped, like a slightly opened book. Near the front gate, there were many statues of world-renowned scientists and thinkers. The largest, of course, was of Artvin Einstein, the greatest scientist of all time. Above the main entrance was the familiar inscription. Oh, god damn, one of these again. Instretten sis agnikar av geregna, int olla almergwalten, int olla mexis. Education is the premise of progress in all societies, in all families. Inside the building, I was greeted by Sierra's assistants. They led me to a meeting room where she was waiting inside. She stood and gripped my hand. Okay, okay, hang on. I'm a married man. Sierra. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Sierra. I'll cut straight to the chase. You've elected not to reform the Sordland education system. I've already voiced my many objections to that, but I respect your decision. There is, however, one sticking point. It involves evolution versus creationism. As it currently stands, schools across Sordland can decide whether to include evolution, creationism, or both in their curriculum. Rural schools often decide in favor of creationism only, which puts students at a disadvantage when it comes to entering university. The effect is especially noticeable among young women. My suggestion is to make the teachings of evolution mandatory, and preferably ban creationism altogether. Oh, jeez. Okay, So the reason why I say oh, jeez is because, okay, so we're okay. Look, we're traditionalists, but we're not dumb. I can't think of a of a polite way to put it. Is she suggesting blasphemy here? What is this nonsense? I think we could allow the teaching of both at most. I wouldn't ban the teaching of evolution. We are, just as a reminder, right? Let's contextualize this a bit. We are a city boy. We were raised by a wealthy family. We were a family of means, and so we would have not gone to a rural school. We would have gone to a an urban school. I've never heard. It's a weird. That term doesn't really sound right. But anyway, we didn't go to a rural school. Is my point. So we were probably taught evolution, and we might have been taught both, maybe, right? And we went to a major university as well. We had no struggles there or anything like that. We're also not, or were not, young women when we were younger. So I feel like we were probably taught evolution, and so to us, evolution is right. Ban education. That just makes it so much easier, right? We can allow both, I think, because again, we grew up with evolution. Now the question becomes then, do we think of Oh, it's a tough one because we're traditionalists. It's a tough one, right? Because again, just because we're traditionalists doesn't mean we're against scientific progress. We got fighter jets, you know, like I'm sure somewhere in our holy book it says humans weren't meant to fly, right? We can teach them about natural swordlection. Oh my god. Oh my god. Adopting evolution fully will give you a net positive for education, which is already in a slump. Yeah. I'm wondering if we go with a mix. Conrado says, I mean, your wife probably hasn't been very friendly lately. I think if anything, it's her fault if you seek out a home. If you seek out of home for what you're not having there. Oh, okay. You mean in terms of Sierra's advances earlier. And I love the need to clarify. By the way, this is roleplay. I don't really think this. I love like that when we get into the depths of some very like dark thinking. Nobody feels the need to say this is roleplay. I don't really think this, but that's the line, Conrado. See, that's the line. I love it. But no, I hear you. I see what you're saying. Can we do 3 then backtrack just to see how she responds? I don't think we should. Look, we've already really like pushed her as far as she could go. I'm surprised she hasn't resigned already, and that would look really bad for our government, right? I think we could allow both. It does. Seal just touches on something interesting there. We can allow both. The rural people need their simpler beliefs. That also keeps their beliefs in us simpler. It's in this like sort of dark sort of a way. It allows us to have authority over the. Oh god, the less informed. It's like, oh my god. As a person in charge, you want people to be. Oh my god, I can't believe. As a person in charge, you want people to be a little stupid, because then you can lead them, right? You want them, yeah. Oh boy, I think we're gonna go with a blend. I think we might go with a blend here. A mixed selection basically won't piss off the political side of things, so liberals and conservatives don't get A- or a plus. Going for pro-evolution will lead to a positive in liberals in education, but a reduction in conservative opinion. Oh, don't think we can have that. Not from this playthrough. Would being traditionalist mean not wanting to influence the more traditional system? I'm wondering that as well. Exactly. It's like, well, it's worked fine the way it's been so far. I'm pleased with my education, and I've not heard anybody else bring any reasonable arguments against the education happening elsewhere. So, Conrado C. Okay, fair enough. I hear you. I just assumed it was all understood, but no, I totally get where you're coming from. I would have done 100% the exact same thing. So I just thought it was funny because it was the first time it was brought up that way. Yeah, keep the old ways. Don't disturb the old ways of the education system. I don't see a problem with teaching our children both theories. That would be one way to compromise, yes, but does creationism really help open the minds of our children? The way I see it, it promotes the blind acceptance of the world as it is. No facts or verification needed. Children should be encouraged to think critically and ask questions. Creationism and other religious teachings hinder that. So either you have a point, perhaps there's no place for creationism in schools, or regardless, I don't believe schools need to ban creationism entirely. I don't see the harm in letting students decide for themselves. What about the so-called evolution theory? Why should children blindly accept that? Oh dear lord. I love the little asterisks around evolution theory. It's like, oh. There must be a place for our religion in schools. How else will children learn moral correctness? Oh, there it is. There it is. That's the traditionalist answer. That's the one. 4 is the way to go here, I think. 4 is the way to go here, I think. I do like 3. I do like 3 for like, but that's not, again, it's what we were raised on. So we've been taught about evolution. We believe in evolution. It's weird to say like believe in evolution, but you know what I mean. We subscribe to evolution. I don't know how you want to put it, but I feel like 4 is 100% what this Anton would do. It's like, no, whoa. There must be place for our religion in schools. How else will children learn moral correctness? Learning about religion does not make everyone morally correct, does it? Are you forgetting the recent religiously motivated terror attacks? Or that according to Nurati, women like myself are second-class citizens? Option 5, smile and nod. Option 5, smile and nod. Where'd you go? Yeah, Nurity has brought us so far. Why are you denying it all? I mean, that's a dumb question after what you just said, Anton. It's not the same thing. Whatever, doesn't change what I think. Oh my god, what a child. How dare you defy the one true law of the universe, God. Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly, your point. Damn. I'm torn between it's not the same thing and how dare you defy God. I feel like it's not the same thing is the right option here. Because she's not just bringing up, she's bringing up a couple of things. She's bringing up a couple of things. And some of those things we probably see as issues too. Arguing will not lead anywhere, I don't think. Yeah, exactly. Ease, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it. How you doing? Done for the done the work day, I imagine, right? You got home when this stream started. I imagine you're all wrapped up. Grab your pizza and everything. Exactly, Ted. Now, yeah, we're not like super. We've not been. Look, I'm sure of all the things we've done, we've not been free of sin ourselves. So I don't think 4 is a fitting statement. I'm sure somewhere in the Nurity, holy book, it says, "Thou shalt not accept money for favors or something like that." I'm sure we've broken a fair few tenets of our faith, so it's not the same thing. Here to say hi to Rec to Watch. May just lie down and watch a movie. Held 3 days of courses. Yeah, I hear that, but I'm glad you could drop by though. It's been some time since you've been able to make it. I'm glad you could drop by, and I hope you're able to catch some rest. At least, oh, I see. Not able to catch the streams with this timing. Yeah, I might have to, as things start to reopen around the world, I might have to reconsider stream times and stuff like that as well. It is something on my mind. But I'm glad you could drop by today, at least. Also, what movie are you watching? If you want something that's, like, insane, I don't know if I liked it or not. It was weird. Oh, the new movie by that James Wan guy. Oh my god. Malignant. It's a weird movie. I don't know if I like it or hate it. It's a weird movie. That's all I can say about it. It was an interesting thing. It was an interesting thing. Let's put it that way. Well, the problem with doing a stream that starts later in the day is that my morning feels wasted, and then my evening also feels wasted when the stream is in the middle of the day. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But yeah, mornings is weird. Yeah, Malignant. It's weird. It's weird. I'm curious what people think about that movie. We could talk about it in the Discord afterwards if you do decide to watch it. It's weird. I don't know how I feel about it. Nissar, how's it going, buddy? And David, how goes? In Surge we trust, indeed. All right, let's see. Oh, God, Ciara, just drop it already. How is that not the same thing? You just said religion brings moral correctness. Where is the evidence of that? You know what? This is going nowhere. There's clearly no point in discussing this with you. Not exactly how I wanted it to end, but, well, at least it did end. Ooh. Candyman or Free Guy? Candyman's fun. Have you watched like Us or it's kind of in the same vein-ish as Us, kind of, sorta. If you like that, then I think you might like Candyman. David, coming through with that super chat, with that super sticker, with that cup of tea is my assumption. Thank you very much, buddy, again, and as always, I really appreciate it. Again, really helps support the channel, support these streams, support just everything, keeps it all sustainable, so I appreciate it greatly, and I will get myself a cup of tea right after this stream is done, actually. I'm in desperate need of one. Alright, Lucien Galati knocked and entered. Excuse me, some urgent business kept me away. That's very unlike him. Welcome, Mr. Galati. Mr. President? Miss Walda? Some urgent business kept him away. I trust this man enough. Again, he's a homie. Glad you came. I need to hear some opinions that make sense. Yes. Sarah frowned. Or as Ease likes to say, Kiara. I don't know, man. Sierra. I think about Sierra like the artist Sierra, right? I enjoyed Candyman. I think it was interesting. I'm curious what you think about it if you do end up watching it. Free Guy was fun too, but Free Guy was like a turn your brain off dumb action movie. So if you're in the mood for that after an exhausting week, Free Guy is fun. Candyman, there's a bit more like involved, I guess, in Candyman. So take that maybe into consideration. Who knows? I enjoyed both of them. I would have liked to keep that debate up. Maybe we could have Anton stop and think for a moment before like. Wait, sorry, I don't follow the musical cue there. Yeah, I figured Ease. That's why I realized, like you just mentioned, you had an exhausting week, so you might be Free Guy might be the right thing if you're choosing between those two movies. That's a very simple, silly, popcorn flick. Yeah, exactly. I also enjoy Ryan Reynolds, one of Canada's best exports. All right, Lucy. Oh, very well. Continuing from my previous point. It is my conviction that we should require the mandatory teaching of evolution in Sordland's public schools and cut creationism completely out. If we want children from rural areas to have the same opportunities as their urban counterparts, this is the way. Opening students' minds and reducing the role of religion in school will also lead to more equality between young men and women. Miss Walda, don't bring your pet cause into this. Mr. President, there are other considerations you may not have thought about. Although I myself believe in evolution, we must be careful not to alienate our rural conservative voter base. We owe a lot to their support. Forcing their school districts to teach evolution could irreparably damage our standing with them. Every modern nation is reducing or removing creationism in their curriculum, yet we are supposed to allow schools to promote fundamental and, yes, sexist ideas from 1,000 years back? So is that what we're doing now? Copying what other nations are doing instead of paving our own way? If it works, why not? Look at the analysis. It's clear that the superpowers are doing something right. Should we reinvent the wheel, Mr. Galate? You speak as if we don't import any influences from other countries. That's not what I said. Their voices started to get louder and louder. I held up my hands for silence. We can still allow creationism to be taught alongside evolution. Ciara, you could live with that. Yes, although I won't like it. I still believe schools are no place for religion. I won't like it either. You'll have to prepare to lose a lot of voters. Ciara looked me in the eye. It is your decision. Don't forget. Future generations of Swordish youth are counting on you. So, two things. First of all, I love how the music cooperated with me there when I asked for silence. Thing number two, wait, why is Lucen saying he won't like it either? I'm very confused here. I thought this was... What? I thought that was the right call. Oh yeah, dude, that promo is priceless. That promo is priceless. We were getting it in Canada quite a bit. It's Ryan Reynolds and I forget the lead actress's name, but them having a quiz about Canadian like general knowledge. I didn't know you got that elsewhere as well. I thought that was like exclusive to Canadians, and it was asking his counterpart like friggin' pop fly question. Lasted a bit longer that time. We made it back. We're okay. We're alive. Anyway, it's a hilarious promo. Why isn't Sarah forced to give a resignation? Yeah, that's not a bad question. I mean, you don't want to have resignations in the middle of a term, though. It looks bad for the government. It looks bad to all the voters and everything that we weren't able to keep our people in check. So I'm confused. Why does Lucian say he won't like it either? I said we can allow creationism to be taught alongside evolution. I'm not saying that we're enforcing it. I'm not suggesting we change anything. So why does Lucian say I won't like it either? It must be a mistake. I don't think we should... Yeah, exactly. I think we should keep both. I think it makes sense to keep both. He said forcing schools to teach evolution would alienate them. Right, but I didn't think that's what we said. We said we can allow creationism to be taught alongside evolution. We didn't say we should force... Oh, I see. Okay, I guess it could be misconstrued as us saying evolution is the baseline and then creationism is on the side. Okay, no, I see what you're saying. We will stick to the current system. Evolution will not be mandatory, and schools that wish to teach creationism exclusively may do so. Yeah, okay. That should keep Lucian happy. And Ciara, like, come on. Get in line. For real. Get in line. We'll stick to the current system. Evolution will not be mandatory, and schools that wish to teach creationism exclusively may do so. I can't believe this. This will certainly help us retain our popularity among conservatives. Also, a less educated populace is more easily managed. Boom! There it is. Was I not saying it? That's what I'm talking about. I can't believe you just said that. They turned and looked at each other. Lucian lifted his eyebrow, and Ciara held his gaze for a couple seconds. The meeting ended shortly after. It's true. It's dark, but it's true. That's how it works. Lucian just saying it out loud, man. Lucian just saying it out loud. You gotta go, Nisark. Sounds good. Well, thanks for dropping by, buddy. I hope you had a good time, and have yourself a beautiful Friday, if it's still Friday there, or if it's Saturday, then Saturday, or the weekend. At least the weekend. Let's say the weekend. Thanks for coming through, bud. I do love Lucian. Lucian's amazing. He's so well written. He's so fun, no matter how you're playing yourself. Every third word is being cut, but you're still coming through. Try refreshing, Avaron. If you're having trouble hearing me, try refreshing, because we've got green lights on this end. Jeez. That was a tense conversation. I enjoyed that conversation. What do we have over here? Secret State Police investigation update. The Secret State Police have completed preliminary investigations into the members of the political opposition. No concrete proof of corruption or other wrongdoings has yet been revealed. Well, that's problematic. If you don't find it, make it. Language bill prepared by Kisaro. Kisaro Kibner is preparing a bill which aims to unify Swordish education by making Swordish the only language accepted in educational institutions, excluding specific foreign language studies. That sounds reasonable to me. Loving the events this stream. Yeah, this has been a fun one. It's been there's a lot's gone down. Oh man, it's been a packed one. Economic report from Volgan. Volgan is suffering the effects of the economic recession, with unemployment spiking and many small businesses shuttering. The larger agricultural concerns are expected to announce a wave of layoffs as sales slow. Well, I wish I got that news before I made my next infrastructure or investment decision, rather. That's not ideal. And Welland over here? Welland operations a mixed success. Welland President Victor Smolak is drawing his operations against the Bludish Freedom Front to a close. The consensus is that while Welland's army went a long way toward neutralizing the Bludish threat, there were many preventable casualties. Furthermore, despite Welland's best efforts, not all hideouts have been eradicated, and anti-Smolak sentiment is at an all-time high among the remaining insurgents. Okay, that did not exist last time, and I'm curious how that's going to play out this time. What else do we have? I thought we had more events. No, guess not. We just have the news here, and a codex entry has been updated as well. Party leaders Dennis Stoller, the former leader of the Communist Party of Sordland, arrested in 1954 for his alleged ties to the banned organization Red Youth. He was released 1 year later after serving his time in Antal Rock Prison. However, he still suffered another 5 months under house arrest. After being released, he self-published a book named A Year Under a Rock, which quickly rose to popularity in the socialist community in Sordland and was briefly a best-selling title in Volksland. Well, this is not good. Rain did help Welland this time too. Yes, Avilo, we did. We almost didn't, and then, apart from... There were many factors, but one factor was that how can we have subscribed or participated in genocide when we were doing our non-despot run, and then not participate in genocide in our despot run? That would have been a little strange, wouldn't it? Swordland today. Privatization. The future of Swordland. Don't let the pro-government elites fool you. Nationalization of Swordland's big four corporations would be a disaster for our country. Instead, we advocate for the privatization of state-owned enterprises, Nadam Mining, and the Swordish State Corporation. Both companies have grown sluggish from lack of competition. Even private interests taking a minority stake could lead to greater innovation and a brighter future. Meanwhile, the Hall Sword Post has quite a bit to say, actually. First, Dare prepares for Day of Dissension. The city of Dare is busy preparing for the Day of Dissension, the annual celebration of the founding of Nuriti. Though religion plays a smaller role in Swordish daily life than in years past, the day still holds special importance for many Nurists, thousands of whom have already begun undertaking the pilgrimage to the tomb of St. Dast. The cathedral in which it is located, Dare's Ark Sanctuary, is currently undergoing renovations set to be completed in time for the festivities. In accordance with the presidential tradition, Anton Rain will be making an appearance at the event. I'm curious how this plays out this time around, considering we've been more religious, we've been more Nurist, I guess. Kisaro raises the Blutish question. Yesterday, in the Grand National Assembly, NFP leader Kisaro Kibner proposed a law that would make Swordish the only language accepted in educational institutions, boldly standing up for Swordish culture and tradition. This law, the Unified Education Language Act, is squarely aimed at the Blutish community, whose integration in Swordish society has long posed a problem. Educating children solely in the official language of this country will help cement their Swordish identity and quash the threat of Blutish independence in Sordland, said Kibner in his speech in the assembly. That's good. That's a positive spin on it, right? He wants to welcome, he wants to help Bloods become more like swords and become a part of our nation, right? Overblown rights case appealed. Today, the politically motivated and controversial court case by Isheval Ursan has made its way to the Supreme Court to be reviewed. The mayor of Dare, Felix Braun, has dismissed the presence of systemic racism in the region of Bergia and accusations against law enforcement, citing that the Blutish are being influenced by the Blutish Freedom Front, who wishes to radicalize the people for their dark aims. All eyes are now on Chief Justice Hawker and the Supreme Court to determine if the case has legal grounds or not. Many justices have already come forward to dispute the claim that the Constitution is not being upheld by the state of Sordland when it comes to the treatment of the Blutish people. We'll see what happens. It is definitely overblown. Hopefully it blows over as well. Nationalize the Big Four now. Oh, these guys are asking for nationalization. I was not expecting that. As the debate privatization versus nationalization intensifies, as the debate about privatization versus nationalization intensifies at the capital, the Hall Sword Post firmly believes that President Rain should come down on the side of nationalization for all of the so-called Big Four companies, including the currently fully private Heart of Swordland and Bergia Steel. Full nationalization would prevent price gouging and prevent CEOs like Marcel Caranti from consolidating power, but even the government taking minority ownership of both companies would go a long way towards ensuring they act according to state interests. Goes against our campaign promises, doesn't it? Goes against our campaign promises. Anti-statue man sentiment is reaching a high equal to the difference in quality between Welland and Swordish strudel. I do wish we could learn about the sculptor. I do wish we could learn about what happened to that sculptor. A very minor pip in our history, I suppose, but I'm curious. I am curious. We do have all the wealth. I bet we could commission an amazing statue. It's true. It's true. Though I'm probably going to save that wealth to commission the hit on the entire bench. The Supreme Court is acting up, and I'm not a fan of how they're acting up. Let's go ahead and hit that continue, proceed to the next turn. I believe we've got everything covered here. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Victim of changes. I don't like the word victim here. Don't appreciate the implications. I'm a little concerned about how some of the things from today are going to play out. There are brewing problems. There are brewing problems. The smallest of which are all these educational reforms. Then there's the polio situation. Then there's the fact that our friends in the Supreme Court are stabbing us in the back as we speak. Hall Sword here. There's a call from Marcel Caranti. I'm sure it's all about the news article we just read with regards to privatization versus nationalization. But folks, that conversation with Marcel Caranti and the greater conversation of, well, not just privatization versus nationalization, but everything else that's going to happen in our nation, we'll have to wait until next time. This is where we're going to be calling it a session. We're just about at that 2-hour mark, so I want to make sure we don't go for 20 minutes overboard. So we're going to be calling it over here, folks. Again, if you had a good time, please don't hesitate to hit that like button on your way out. Again, whether you're watching live or you're watching the VOD, it really does help me make decisions with regards to what to do on the channel, how to approach things on the channel, what to stream, whether I should stream at all in the first place or not. On the topic of streaming, just again as a reminder, roughly 12 hours from now, I'll be doing another live stream today. It'll be a Planet Zoo live stream, so if you want to come hang out, it'll be a pretty chill live stream. Just doing a trade session, it'll be a good time. Don't hesitate to join us then. A very different time from the usual, yes, but usually when the episode drops. And that should be fun as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the session today. I definitely did. This was, we had some very interesting moments in today's stream, and I'm very curious about the repercussions of some of the decisions that were made today. We've definitely got a very upset cabinet member. I don't think Lucian is entirely pleased with some of the decisions we've made either. And of course, like I said, the Supreme Court is beginning to pull on some of those strings, and I am not a fan of that. Take a nap. I don't think I can today. I'm surprisingly feeling well rested for just having, what would it be, 3 hours of sleep. I'm feeling good. I'm going to keep this momentum going as far as I can, but I appreciate the concern. I'm glad to hear you had fun, Silted. And Pickle Babushka says, first he calls it the Blutish question, and the next thing you know, he's accused of bombing orphanages and burning down hospitals. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't do that on this side of the border. We don't do that on this side of the border. But folks, a big thanks to all y'all for joining. Again, a massive thanks to our new members and super chatters and super stickers and all today. Again, that stuff really helps support the channel. And of course, no session is truly done without giving a... Whoa, why isn't... why Streamlabs, why are you acting up? Without giving, I was saying, a massive thanks to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Again, y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. Of course, the list over here will need a little bit of updating to reflect the changes from today, the new members we've got joining in. But again, thank you very much for the support. It really does mean a lot. It really does make a huge difference. And of course, thank you all for watching as well. Without each and every one of you, none of this would be possible. So I appreciate it greatly. I appreciate it greatly. Airstrike on the justices. You know what we need to do? What we need to do is instigate a war. And that will make our... well, I think the thing is our initial declaration of the emergency would still be unconstitutional, but if we do manage to bait a war, we would maybe at least be able to say, look, within a couple of years or a year of that emergency being declared, war happened. So clearly, we were on to something, and clearly the emergency was necessary. I'm not sure if that's a possibility. I'm not sure if that's an option. So it's going to be interesting seeing all this go down, folks. But we'll have to wait until next week, Friday, of course, when we're back with Suzerain. Before that, on Monday, we're going to have some Crusader Kings action. This Tuesday, I hope that I'm able to just keep things in check and actually have a Phantom Brigade stream. That would be nice to go back to. And then, yeah, Friday we'll be back with Suzerain. But folks, hopefully I'll catch you in the Discord. Again, link is in the description down below. If not, then I'll catch you in the comments of one of the videos, or I'll catch you during one of the streams. But until I do catch you, cheers.